up, everybody? We are back again, and today the Vette's tint is getting fixed. Also, while we're here, the Vette is gonna get a detail as well. You guys can probably tell from this angle, but the entire Vette is coated with dust and grime from the weekend. We are dropping it off now, and hopefully by tomorrow or Friday, the entire Vette will be ready to go. And then we also got a small portion of the wrap fixed as well. It was just a little exposed. I had them go back over it with the heat gun. They fixed it right up. I just can't wait to have this going back to black like the rest of the windows. But let's waste no time and get this thing taken care of. All right, so we dropped a car off yesterday. I'm about to go get picked up by an Uber and head there right now. They were able to detail the car and tint it both yesterday. Buddy is enjoying the sun right now. We are back and the Vette is tinted up again. And while I was here, they detailed up the car also. Everything is shining real nice. The interior also got a full detail. They treated and washed down everything. The car looks and smells brand new right now. I'm super happy. No lie, I think they put 5% on this instead of 30, but it looks sick. Just to give a perspective on how clean these wheels are, it literally looks like a mirror, bro. Like, this is how chrome is supposed to look. It needs the arrows so bad. Like, damn, it would go so hard right now. Whenever the car is fresh off a detail, it just comes alive, bro. But yeah, it's getting late. We're gonna head back to the crib right now and put the Vette away until the weekend. And hopefully it stays this clean until Saturday. It's been a couple days since I picked up the Vette from the shop. Right now we are in the Honda. The Honda has been neglected for a little bit of time just because all the stuff we've been doing to the Vette has taken away time to take care of this car. But today we're gonna be giving it a little bit of love. Gonna detail it up, make it look nice again. And tomorrow I should be doing the brakes on it as well. It needs brakes, so I have all the stuff in my garage to do that right now. And just like that, the Honda is clean, baby. The front end's all chipped up from the drive down here from New York. But we could probably fix all that. All right, so we are all set up today. The Honda's getting some love. We got a whole new brake kit here. We have brand new pads, and then in the box down here, we have the rear rotors. Not too long ago, we changed out the front. I don't know if you can tell, but the rotors are brand new. There is some surface rust buildup. It's what happens, it's brakes. But besides that, they're brand new rotors. Compared to the rear, you can see the difference. These are completely caked over in rust. They ride like crap, so they're gonna get swapped out today. And an hour later, we got this rotor off the hub. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's legitimately salt built up all around this rotor. I mean, it's crazy. It was fused to the hub, and the hub has some of that on there too. So I had to rinse and repeat, PB blaster, whack it with the hammer, PB blaster, whack it with the hammer, over and over and over again. It was like an hour doing that just to get this off. I ended up drilling out the rotor screws too because they were just stuck to the rotor and the whole hub here. I'm gonna go ahead and prep this for the new rotor, and we're gonna go ahead and throw those on right now, move over to the other side. And I'm also gonna top off the motor with the rest of the oil that I have here. It's probably less than half of a quart. It doesn't burn oil terrible, but it does, you know, lose oil over time. So I'm gonna go ahead and top it off now. Yeah, that was barely anything. Way less than half of a quart. Now she should be good. And we have a problem. So unfortunately, we have an issue with the brakes. I don't know if you can see, but right there, the piston is out of the caliper. When I applied pressure to the brake to kind of unseize the caliper, it pushed the piston right out. It was pretty much on its way out as it is. That would make sense as to why I couldn't compress it to put it over the brakes. We were pretty much done with this side and it completely took a crap on us. The calipers themselves are in really bad condition. The other side is just as bad. And I did some research with my car. Turns out around the 100,000 mile mark is typically when people change out the calipers. But yeah, it definitely makes me feel a lot better about having to spend even more money on a brake job. So we're gonna go head out to AutoZone right now and pick up these calipers to then hopefully get this car done and finished with tomorrow. That's the plan. New calipers are acquired. Let's just take a minute to admire how crazy good at parking I am. There's all but 2 inches between here and the wall. I lined this shit up because if you don't, especially with all the goodies I have here, you don't have enough room for the door. And you can see how wide it is. So even then, we're basically just making it in there. But to try to open my door halfway like this and get out like that, I'm not trying to do all that. So you can probably see all the dust that builds up in this garage. So all I have to do is pretty much spray it down and it comes right off. But other than that, the car is looking mint. See you later, honey. You've been good, you've been great, but you haven't been real great. There's some rotors in the front here, and these calipers are just fine. So it is what it is. Like I said, 100,000 miles, you're supposed to replace them. It looks like the previous owner only did the front and not the rear. So now I gotta deal with it. So I'm gonna take care of that tomorrow, clean them out, you know, do everything I have to do. But we will be taking care of this also, because after that's done, the car is pretty minty. I mean, it's a 2-owner car. I'm the 2nd owner. It's in great condition. There's no mechanical issues. Everything's up to date. So either gonna keep this for a little bit longer once it's fixed, or I'm gonna go right to selling it, because in all honesty, I want something better for a daily. Having 2 coupes just isn't convenient. You know, I want something with 4 doors that I can actually go around and pick up stuff with. You know, it's pretty much pointless to have 2 cars if they're both gonna be coupes. I can have the Vet as the coupe weekend car and then have something like, honestly, this, like a Honda Odyssey, like a little SUV, or a Honda CR-V. I'm gonna stick with a Honda or a Toyota for sure, just because as much as I love Corvettes, Chevy doesn't make the most reliable passenger vehicles. I also have a few chips on the front hood I'm gonna take care of, just because that happened under my ownership on the way down here. But other than that, she's dialed in, especially now. I just topped off the oil at the halfway mark between oil changes. Got a little bit longer on that, and hopefully what I'll do is drive it around until the oil change is ready. I'll change the oil one more time, and then it'll find its new home, a new owner. All right, so it's the weekend now. I'm heading out to the store. I gotta pick up a few things for the Vet. We're gonna be doing an oil change and possibly an entire fluid flush on it. I haven't changed the oil since I got the car. It was done right before I bought it, so I'm not too worried about that, but it's always good to change out the fluids under your ownership, so I wanna make sure that I take care of everything before a problem comes up. But check it out. That's a good sign. All that rust is from the brand new brake material that just got worn off the rotor. That means that we're breaking these in. I took the car around the block when I first did this, but today I'm gonna put it through the ringer. I'm actually gonna drive the car on highway, you know, brake at higher speeds to really try to break in this rotor today. Dude, just driving this thing around, it feels so much better. My brake pedal is actually responsive this time, because not only did I do the pads and rotors, I also bled the entire brake system. So feeling the difference right now is definitely noticeable. It's a night and day difference. The pedal used to be so squishy and the brakes would drag. Now it feels nice, dude. It might be hard to tell on camera, but the rotor is nice and clean and the caliper is working the way it should be also. So that means as far as right now, the Honda's good. The only thing that it really needs is a wheel balance and an alignment, just because it has gotten off from me using it throughout the last year or so. And then once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and fix the corner, get the whole quarter of the car repainted, and then it'll be 100% good to go. The only issue with the car right now is the fact that it's a coupe. If this was a sedan, I'd be keeping it, but I need something with space and actual storage, so when I move or I pick up a part for the vet, whatever the case may be, I actually have the room to do it. Right now I don't. And as far as the vet goes, we have a few things planned for it coming up in the future. Today we also picked up 10 quarts of 0W40. I haven't changed the oil in the vet under my ownership, so that's up next for the car this week. And I saw in the comments that a bunch of you guys said for me to go ahead and throw on the headers and the X-pipe before we get the car cammed. I can agree. I want the vet to sound better than it does. You know, for a stock car, it really doesn't sound bad at all, but with it being quieter than I'd like, especially when I have a camera or a POV session going on, it's really hard to hear the car. So I'd like to make it louder if I can. And not only are we gonna be doing the headers, we're also gonna do the ZR1 aero. It's time for it to happen. The car is gonna look so much better with that aero. The stock wheels are completely fine, but when there's no front lip or skirts, it makes it look higher. So once we get that aero kit installed, I'll be super happy with the cosmetics of the car, and we'll have a nice little exhaust setup also. It'll be in a nice like midway position to being completed. Because in all honesty, besides the big performance stuff we're gonna be doing to the vet coming up in the future, there really is only a couple of minor things I wanna do. I don't have the complete vision, but for sure, we're gonna do wheels eventually. And making our way into the interior, we're gonna need a short shifter as well. And I think I'm gonna do buckets. If I do buckets though, what we're gonna have to do is put in a roll bar back here. Because with a roll bar, we can safely secure the harness that would be going to the bucket seat. And I think that would make for a lot better, you know, driving experience, as well as actually looking better too. Because for being honest, the seats in here, they're not terrible, but they really don't look the best. Having some clean bucket seats with a harness in here also is gonna tie the car together even more. Yeah, but who knows, you know, as you build a car and you actually go through the process of putting everything together, more and more stuff starts to spark an idea in your head. I can't tell you start to finish what I'm gonna do, but all I can do is go off of what we have so far and put on the list what's next. So 100% exhaust and the aero is up next. And once that's done, the car is gonna be awesome, man. And one more last thing that I bought as well was a fuel system cleanse. I haven't done one with the car, and I can confidently say that I know that it sat for a while before I bought it. The previous owner put about 1,000 miles on the car, so I already know that he barely drove it. I just want to make sure that I clean it up before we do everything to it. We're gonna drain the oil, flush the fuel system, and that should put us in a good place to when we go get the other performance upgrades, we'll be okay. So that's the plan for the vet coming up. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know about the Honda, what we should do with it. If you have any other recommendations for the vet, let me know down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep tabs on everything going forward with the vet and the Honda in the future. But it's late, I'm gonna wrap things up for tonight, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.